Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Niasim. And where are they? We bought Donald Trump. We bought. Where are you people now? Where are you voting? Which side are you voting at this point in time? Because the Supreme Court has made it legal for ICE to actually profile you. And if you speak some kind of language, they will profile you. If you look like Hispanic, you will be profiled. And yeah, just all of it. So they rule that the race or accent gives enough reason for ICE to detain you, and you might at the same time be also detained. I have given tips on how to maneuver them, but now they have legal rights to actually detain you, search you, and do so many things. That is how bad it is. And this is what you guys voted for. The only people I feel bad for are the ones that did not sign up for this. But the rest of you all voted for this. The worst part is that some of you, that if you also have the opportunity to rewrite your story, you always still make the same mistake and then turn around to say that Black people are not helping you because Black people are your bulletproof and your armored cars, Superman, Hulk, all of that. It's really about to get tougher, not even because it's already tough. It's about to get tougher. So hold yourself by your bootstrap because the rise is about to be rough. Let's get into this video.
For those that don't know, the Supreme Court ruled Monday for the Trump administration and agreed U.S. immigration agents may stop and detain anyone they suspect in the U.S. illegally based on little more than working at a gas station, at a restaurant, at a car wash, speaking Spanish, or having brown skin. That is all they need. If you speak Spanish or have brown skin, you are in danger. My family's in danger. And we have to step up. We have to be the change. We have to spread the word. Make sure to keep your family as safe as you can. Let them be informed. And that's the best that we can do. But, yep, the Supreme Court ruled this on Monday for the Trump administration.
Yeah, them Latino for Trump folks got real. It's mute. I don't hear nothing ever since that executive order came out. Yeah. Now you thought I forgot about y'all. You thought we forgot about y'all. The Latinos for Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. Now look at y'all on hush mode. Because you realize that executive order affects you, affects your kids, affects your spouses, affects your parents, affects your friends, affects everyone around you that you've ever loved and cared about that was not born in this country. Now look at you. They're going to be able to snatch you up and lock you up based off of your accent and skin tone alone. Even if you are a white Cuban or a white Puerto Rican or a white Dominican, it don't matter. If your accent even got a little bit of a twang in it, you're cooked. Welcome to the real world, jackass.
So SCOTUS has made it official that ICE can racially profile Hispanics just by the way that they look and by the way that they talk. And it doesn't matter if you're an American citizen or not. Do you know how many American citizens have been rounded up just for being Hispanic and being at the wrong place at the wrong time? And they don't care if you have your birth certificate or a passport because they immediately go and say that it's fake, that those documents are fake until it is proven that they are American citizens. So ICE can detain Hispanics who are American citizens, whether they provide their documents or not, whether it's a license, whether it's a birth certificate or a passport, even if you provide those types of documents, American citizens who are Hispanic are still being detained. Justice Sotomayor, being the only Latina serving as SCOTUS, came out and said that countless people in the Los Angeles area have been grabbed, thrown to the ground, and handcuffed simply because of their looks, their accents, and the fact that they make a living by doing manual labor. Today, the court needlessly subjects countless more to these exact same indignities, as per AP News. Now, you know for a fact that if Trump could have his way, he would have Sotomayor detained as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the America that we once knew. America has changed 8 months ago. This is the same country that I served proudly and honorably. It no longer exists. If you are Latino and you are an American citizen, start carrying your birth certificate, your passport, your license, whatever it may be to prove that you're an American citizen. You're going to have to start carrying that with you at all times. And if you're a foreigner, if you're from a different country and you want to come to the United States to come and visit and tour, I suggest you keep your ass home. Do not invest in the United States while we are under this regime. Stay home, because see, under this regime, even if you are here and you have a flight itinerary bringing you here for a few days or a few weeks, they could deport you. And they might deport you to a different fucking country that you don't belong. And you don't even have to commit a crime. I'll tell you one thing though, as a Latina and as a proud Latina and an American citizen, you will never, ever hear me not ever speak my native language. So SCOTUS has made it official that ICE can racially profile Hispanics.
The United States Supreme Court is now a rubber stamp for Donald Trump, and they cannot be trusted at all. The United States Supreme Court has been compromised to the point of being useless. Anything Donald Trump wants to do, the Supreme Court will allow him. They will allow him. And since the Democrats have a fear of getting in charge and opening the court up with 3 more damn Supreme Court justices, these people will be around for decades and they are worthless. It's as simple as that. It is a wing of the Republican Party. That's it. It just so happens to be the loudest wing, the last wing, and probably the biggest one. Our judiciary is being led by a group of men and women who cannot be trusted to even make anything close to constitutional understandings. They cannot do it. They are compromised. I have said all along, and I am not the only person that said it, you cannot come and tell anybody anything about fighting for rights if you have not had to have your rights adjudicated by the Supreme Court. Well, now we see what exactly that comes to. Now they are adjudicating anything having to do with white people. I'm sorry. They are compromised. I don't even have to say it. Honestly, y'all can see it. They are compromised. They serve no purpose other than to be yet another arm of the Republican Party. That's it. The end. The Supreme Court has no, and I mean no standing to me in America. None. I can hear the exact same things from a Republican convention. That's it. They're not interpreting the law. They're doing this for Donald Trump. That's it. Their loyalty is not to the law. Their loyalty is not to the Constitution. Their loyalty is to Donald Trump and evangelical Christian conservatives and people like that. That's it. That is it. They are compromised to the point of not even being necessary at all. If you are a gay person, your right to marry will be taken away from you because Donald Trump, the evangelical Christian conservatives, are going to get it from the Supreme Court. You are a woman. You are a woman. You want to control your own body. You will not be able to do it as long as the Supreme Court is the way it is right now. I will not be. They have gutted the Voting Rights Act, which a whole lot of people misinterpreted to be, oh, it's just about black people. No, it was about people who have the right and the ability and should be allowed to vote. It's compromised now. They gutted it. They have made it easier for billionaires to continue to poison our water, poison our food, and poison our air. They are compromised. completely, utterly, without fail. They are a wing of the Republican Party. That's it. They are partisan hacks. I understand Sotomayor, Kagan, and I'm trying to remember the third gentleman's name. Cannot remember it off the top of my head. They're doing everything they can, but there is a 6-3 conservative majority. Translation, the Republicans run the Supreme Court. They are partisan. They are partisan. 100%. John Roberts can feel any way he wants to about the image of the Supreme Court. I don't care. I don't. I do not care. You have presided over a wing of the Republican Party, Mr. Roberts. You serve no earthly purpose. You don't. You, Thomas, Alito, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Coney Barrett. Why are y'all here? Why are y'all here? Why do you guys even hear oral arguments about anything? Why don't you just go ahead and preemptively rule in Donald Trump's favor and get it over with? That way we can stop waiting for you to actually do something according to the Constitution. So the Fourth and Fifth Amendment don't mean anything. Why not go back to stop and frisk? Obviously, that's what you want. Continue to rule in the favor of corporations and businesses. Just keep doing it. It's a compromised court. It is. And as long as it remains as such, I will not respect anything having to do with the United States Supreme Court, period. They are compromised all the way around. Clarence Thomas hearing cases involving his wife, no recusing. He didn't recuse himself at all. Samuel Alito having dinner with evangelical Christian conservative groups right before he rules on something involving evangelical Christian conservative groups. No recusing whatsoever. And John Roberts feels, he doesn't like the way the image of the Supreme Court right now. Well, congratulations, sir. I don't care. This is the Roberts court. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not the Roberts court. This is the Trump Supreme Court. Nothing more than another wing, another arm of the Republican Party. They should not be respected. They should not be trusted. And I do not care how they feel about their image until they start actually doing something constitutionally. You get what you give.
Supreme Court just ruled that ICE can now target people based on their skin color, their language, and their race. That seems unconstitutional. So they're finally saying the quiet part out loud. It was never about legality. It was always based on how can I inscribe law on particular groups based on their race to say they criminal. That's the reason why they was going after folks with Latino backgrounds, because y'all all had bought into the hypercriminality of that group. They already had manufactured and coerced y'all and believe in black folks as hypercriminal. That's the reason why he can justify going into areas that's predominantly black. So if the Supreme Court said that ICE can target people based on their race, and Trump said ICE helping them break down on crime, and I can go after the community that's seen as inherently being criminal and put ICE on them. Listen, man, they had put record high numbers in funding when it come to ICE. I'm talking about they the most funded law enforcement in American history. Y'all didn't think they was going to put that law enforcement funding on people they believe should be inherently policed? Man, education is elevation. You better pay attention. You better pay attention, goddammit.
So the U.S. Supreme Court today overturned Judge Frimpong's injunction from June 11th, saying that in L.A., the ICE agents needed to follow well-established law by the Fourth Amendment. They needed something more than just a person's race or how they look. And today, Trump's U.S. Supreme Court ruled that their ethnicity, the language they speak, the type of jobs that Latinos have, gardening, construction, can all be used as reasonable suspicion. Law professors are throwing out their curriculums because All established law is out the window. Latinos, regardless of citizenship status or immigration status, now have diminished rights under the Constitution. This is Trump's Supreme Court. And it seems now as though the law will change with whatever Trump requests. So we'll see where this leads us.
Funky ass Donald Trump Supreme Court has just ruled that it's official. In America, only white is right. And if you ain't white, you ain't got no rights. Welcome to being a nigga. Latinos, use a nigga. Asians, use a nigga. Everybody who don't present white, use a nigga now. Welcome to our motherfucking world. For all the people who've been delulu talking about, I haven't seen nothing like this in terms of the Supreme Court saying you can racially profile since the internment camps. Bitch, get real. Come back down here to planet Earth because black folks have been dealing with this shit since forever. Why you think we have driving while black? Hell, crossing the street while black. It's because we have never stopped dealing with racial profiling. However, this is on a whole nother level, I must admit. Because I know some people especially black people, be like, well, we always dealt with this shit. I'm going to tell you what's new. What is supposed to happen is that there is supposed to be a thing called the Fourth Amendment in which there is supposed to be some sort of probable cause in order for federal law enforcement to stop you in the context of immigration enforcement. Now, all that shit's out the window. All they have to do is try to say that they think you're a race of people that are here illegally. Your accent means that you're here illegally, or hell, even the jobs. It ain't no more black jobs, it's the illegals jobs. So this is a problem for everybody. I tried to warn y'all asses that citizenship was on the ballot. They can now stop, harass, detain anybody the fuck they want, as long as they give this excuse. Now, for those of you who say, well, I'm willing to get stopped and ID checked because I want to get these illegals out. Okay, well, that's real cute until they don't even fucking check your ID. Until they just pack your ass up in a motherfucking van and your mama is searching through the goddamn mattress for your birth certificate to get your ass out of jail because you got an ice hold on you. That's actually happened to a U.S. citizen. That's real cute until you riding around and they arrest you and they confiscate your belongings. That's something that happened to somebody in Oklahoma. And now you asked out of your motherfucking cash or whatever the situation may be. So I don't think that we want to open up the door to blanket mass profiling for anybody in this country who is not white. I don't think that's a door that we want to walk through. But guess what? It has motherfucking arrived, all right? So, look, stay on your P's and Q's. Y'all need to start reading these motherfucking what to do in case ICE approaches your ass, because these people are out on a mission and they don't give a damn who gets swept up with it. And guess what? If they do make a mistake on getting your black ass, trust and believe, look at what they're doing to Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They're going to find something to pin on you. Look at what they're doing to Lisa Cook. They try to find something on you to justify illegally detaining you. So, this ain't just a Latino thing, which, by the way, there are black Latinos. This ain't just an immigrant thing. This is now an American thing. And to everybody who ain't black, but ain't white, who ain't been used to being fucked with by law enforcement, too bad, nigga, because you one of us now.
One thing about America is it's such an embarrassing place. It's really the ghetto, and it's racist. And there are people who try to pretend like it is not, but as each day passes, it becomes more and more clear that minorities are not seen as equals in America. This country is run by a racist president who is backed by a racist organization who wrote a racist book about all of the racist things they want to do, and then somehow the majority of the country was like, yeah, let's do that. And so you want black and brown people to, I don't know what you want us to do, honestly. I don't know what you expect from us, how you expect us to feel, but you show your colors all the time. And you can't, I just stop trying to hide it. It's so insulting that you attempt to say that this isn't a racist place. And today's rant is brought to you by the Supreme Court's ruling where essentially a lower court looked at the ICE raids that are going on in California and said, no, you cannot do this. You cannot violate people's Fourth Amendment rights to a legal search and seizure and pluck people out just because they speak Spanish or just because they look Hispanic or just because they're working in a certain place. And the Supreme Court said, oh, no, go ahead and do that, right? So they're saying, you go ahead and do that until this makes its way up through the courts. So it's not the final decision, but what they said in it was it gives preview to how they would essentially rule. And what they said was, race shouldn't be the only factor, but it should be a relevant factor. Since fucking when? Actually, since fucking always. That's who we are as a country. That's who we've always been as a country. That is why we needed DEI and affirmative action and all these things. Because as much as you want to be like, oh, I don't see race, you absolutely do see race. America is a racist place. And everybody that's minority knows that. So if anybody's sick of this shit and wants to move to Belize with me, I bought land there. It's super gorgeous. It's very diverse. They don't have these racist issues that we have here. It's super cheap. I mean, it's like paradise. Seriously. So, you guys think about it. I wish for you all to join me. And we'll come back and talk later about whatever other bullshit this dude's gonna do today. So I'll see you later if I don't get picked up by ICE for looking Hispanic.
The Supreme Court of the United States just issued a wild decision today that everybody should be concerned of. They have authorized Immigration and Customs Enforcement to stop people based on their accent or speaking Spanish. They have also allowed ICE to make stops for people who are working in jobs such as agricultural sites, car washes, or at the bus stop. They have gone full-fledged racial profiling, and they are making it 100% legal. I read the entire decision from Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, and he basically states that there are 15 million purported quote-unquote illegals in the United States, and they were misled in coming in the United States over the past few years, and until Congress or the president provides some type of path for immigration reform for them, they are in fact in violation of immigration laws, and Immigration and Customs Enforcement can take on various factors to profile these people in order to determine what their immigration status is. And if they don't have lawful status in the United States, then they can be detained. This permission given to ICE to profile now only seems that increased amount of unwarranted or illegal detentions by United States citizens and even lawful permanent residents is going to increase.
I really can't believe that we're getting here. This is coming from the Supreme Court. There's nothing to say otherwise. This is the final word. Justice Kavanaugh wrote separately that it was reasonable for law enforcement to go up, stop, and question people based on common sense criteria, including employment in day labor or construction and limited English proficiency. Speaking in not English or broken English. All three liberal justices on the Supreme Court dissented. They said, we shouldn't be living in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, or works a low-wage job. That sounds reasonable to me. I don't know how anyone can defend this. I don't know how anyone can support this unless you are pro-racial profiling or pro-socioeconomic profiling. Pro-profiling. Not sure if anyone's checked on Hispanics for Trump yet. I don't know.
Supreme Court today, friends, the court ruled that the Trump administration is free to carry out raids in California based on the fact that an individual speaks Spanish, looks Latino, works at a particular place, and that is okay. In a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court held that the ICE can stop individuals and question them based on any of these factors. And this is called a roving raid, in which ICE goes through a community or to a site, and based on what they see, they can actually stop a person and ask them questions about their immigration status or situation. The judges did not give an explanation for their decision. However, Justice Kavanaugh said that it is reasonable for ICE officers to be able to stop someone and ask common sense questions based on common sense criteria such as their employment at a day laborer site or construction site or their limited English proficiency. Those are reasonable criteria that should be used for ICE to determine who to question. You guys probably recall that the federal judge had stopped ICE from being able to do this because the judge said that this is unconstitutional and you cannot use race and some other factors when you're deciding who to stop. Then the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals backed up this decision. The Trump administration filed an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court, arguing that these decisions basically tied their hands and acted as a straitjacket. Los Angeles population is 50% Latino, and this decision makes it possible for ICE to stop U.S. citizens who look like they're Latino or they are Latino but are U.S. citizens and maybe green card holders. ICE will now have greater leeway to conduct these roving raids. Friends, this is very disappointing news. This is not the end of it. I'm sure of it. I'm covering all things related to Trump immigration changes. Follow for.
So the Supreme Court just ruled that immigration enforcement can use race as a factor to go after people for deportation. This same Supreme Court 2 years ago ruled that you cannot use race as a factor to promote diversity in college admissions. So we can use race as a factor to target people for deportation, but we can't use
This is
race.
all I got from this video. Where are the Latinos for Trump? We vote Donald Trump. Where are they? Man, we wake up every day to different stories, and this particular one is hitting really hard. So it's now legal. It's now legal that you can be profiled. The ICE agents they are allowed to racially profile you. And if you look like Hispanic, you might be stopped on your way going to work. Ooh, this is really a very hard one. But now let me tell us something, You and I can see what it's going on so far and how far it's been affecting, the way they do not have workers anymore to do the job and all that. Tariff is like hitting back and forth and all that. And now the Supreme Court has also approved that it's okay for ICE to racially profile you, or if you look Hispanic, or if you speak one kind of language and all that, you can be profiled and the rest of it. I don't know if this president is deaf, because at this point in time it is screaming, I am deaf. Like, I don't understand what it's going on. But now I am going to say this. All these things that we wake up every day to, I don't think it's Donald Trump that is, it's not Donald Trump that is, he's old. When someone is getting old, their brain is functioning, but it's not as smart as a younger person, And you all can see, the kind of policies that they've been pushing back to back. There are some people behind all these policies, and they are using this man as a cover-up. This is just one thing I know. And if you put in your research real good, you definitely will know that what I said is true, because this is beyond this man. I know he's full of hate. I know he's full of BS and all that. But you see all this going on? It is like a 50 to 60 years old person's thinking, somebody that wants to make their community all white, like Stephen Miller said. There is a video that I did today about Hispanics saying that, for those that are saying it is not their fight and all that. Now, you can see that it is not absolutely your fight, right? They've made it visible. They've made it clear to you people that it is your fight, not any other person's fight. Because this cross is a cross that you guys have to carry. And one thing I know for sure is that in the next time you will ever vote again, I hope that your sense of belongings do not leave you behind. Because I have seen some of you saying that even if they had the opportunity again, that they will stay, and the truth is that they will still vote Republican and they will stay same way. That is to tell you how bad some of them are. And then, excuse me, they will turn around and tell my people to come and help them. Like, how do you want my people to help you? How? How do you want us to help you? You know? So you all better be ready because it's about to get tougher. I know before you guys get profiled, but this particular one, it is like, they are profiling you with full force and all that. Before I've given tips on how to maneuver them and all that, but now you have to succumb because now they have the right. It is legal for ICE to actually profile you. That is how bad it is. This is what you guys voted for. It's not my making. It's not my people's making. It is your community. I don't know if I feel bad, but I definitely will feel bad for some people that did not vote for this. Yeah. And also for my people that they might end up profiling probably because their skin is a bit. But it is what it is. Bye for now.